I'm Mariana.
And I'm Steph.
And welcome to Coffee and Anime. Today's episode, we are going to be reviewing Your Name, an amazing anime movie, which, not on purpose, but this is actually the week, I guess you could say, of the 5th anniversary. It came out on the 26th. So the 26th was the actual 5th anniversary, but we didn't do this on purpose. This is just kind of how things fell.
I totally did it on purpose.
Totally did it on purpose. We did. Hey
there we
guys!
Go. I did it. Besides my squeaky intro. took a sip right before. All right. Well, this is exciting. We made it to episode 6. So I'm really excited that we got to sit down and do this movie because it's a nice little kind of catch up, nostalgic at least. I can't believe it came out 5 years ago. I feel like I watched this like last year, but I guess it's been that long.
It's been a minute, yeah. I feel like this is the Japanese animation movie that made it okay for Japanese animation movies to have a place in Western theaters.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I think this one, like, if I remember correctly, it came out, did the 2-day thing, and people were like, what the heck? Because that was the normal standard. And then they brought it back to theaters. I remember that. And after that, that's kind of been a standard. If a movie does really well in the U.S. theaters, they just extend it, which I think is great. Because a Wednesday and a Thursday night are not convenient for anybody to actually go see a movie.
No. You got to work and you got to do school and everything else, momming, all that good stuff.
Yeah, who's going to go see the movie? No one.
Yeah. It's funny you say that because like the Ghibli movies were great, but they had like that fantasy element. And so this is actually like one of those, well, I guess there's a fantasy element to this too, but at the same time, it's like it's like a movie you would see with real people, live action versus like animated as well. So it's a good story for everything. It's not just like whisking you away to a whole nother world. It's your world with something fun in it. So you're right. It's the first time that we've actually seen a movie like this animated where the general populace is a sub of it. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's very true. Like everybody was like, oh, it's not that weird. It's not that weird anime stuff. Anime.
I went and picked up Raylan the other day from Devin's grandma, and she thought anime was a friend of his. She's like, he's always talking about his friend anime. I was like, oh, jeez. So, it's funny. Okay. Kind of threw these all together because this movie is full of moments, full of fun, and also full of like really endearing moments. And there's a little bit of action. It's like a wild ride from start to finish, and it's beautifully done. So
this is the funniest part when they wake up like in each other's bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like not only did you wake up in like the body of the person that is the opposite sex of you, but it's a complete and total stranger.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like what is this? She's like freaking out, and he's terrible. He's terrible.
Yes, he is. I'm assuming at this point he thinks it's a dream or it's something like that, and he was just like, "Oh, I'll just take full advantage of this situation for a little bit." But
right,
they also
and then her little sister comes in, and she's like, "What are you doing?"
And the fact that they're living different like styles. She's in the country and he's in the city, so it's like completely different lives from what they're normally used to.
Yeah,
it's just crazy. But it's very sweet how that grows from them being really surprised to used to switching and like doing their thing for later on.
Yeah,
cute.
I think it's funny because like she even has to like go through. If you listen to the Japanese version, because I don't think in the English version they do that, but in the Japanese version, because there's different ways to say mine or me or I. Like I think one like the very masculine way is like ore. I think it is. I could be wrong. Could be totally wrong, but I feel like it's ore because Natsume does the same thing. Is a very masculine way, but she goes through like 3 different like ways to like address herself, and his friends are looking at her and his body like, wrong with you? Did you call yourself that? Like,
it's also funny later on that they like help each other out in their own lives because it gives them something different and a dose of like confidence almost.
yes,
It's just they're really cute. I have these Nindos because they're just like they're so cute.
I have them too. I love the Nendoroids. I have a Dio that I'm working on. Dio thing. I love this picture, and I feel like a lot of people like first watch. I know I did first watch. I kind of missed this.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the first time I watched it, I missed this part because I didn't see the significance of what connected them. But this is the moment that they are connected. This is the bracelet that he's always wearing,
Mm-hmm.
and it's her hair tie. So it's just, I just thought that was pretty amazing. That's like how and where they were connected. Because for the longest time, I thought they were two different time periods. I thought she was like way older than him,
Mm-hmm.
and he was younger. But really, they're about the same age.
I think it's a few years because the incident. I think they remember seeing it or something to that effect. The timeline is very
Convoluted.
yes, but I think it's meant to be that way because you're supposed to think it's happening at the same time, the way they wrote it. But like, as far as like a key point for like a story, basing it just based on like a string, like a threads of fate, basically kind of thing,
Yeah.
is ingenious. The way that they set this up, and they drop hints on it, but you're not paying attention because everything else is happening and you're worried about this meteor and like everything else, but the nuances, the little tiny stuff is really well done.
Yeah. And I always love Sensei's like Easter eggs from his previous movies. And in this one, her teacher, I do believe, is the teacher from Garden of Words, if I remember correctly.
Very cool.
Yeah. Or his teacher. One of them, I forget.
So they're connected.
Yeah. So it's like his people like try to criticize him for like the way his universes the movies are connected because they're so, it gives the impression that it's within the same universe. But I mean, really, it's more like it's just Easter eggs.
Yeah. I mean, other places that like the creator for Nana, she has like so much stuff intertwined with characters and different time frames and different things happening. But I'm assuming with his movies, they're all kind of being some kind of fantastical element to them. So I guess if that was all happening at the same time, it'd be kind of a crazy world for all these characters.
Right. Movie because they pop into older individually too. So it makes you wonder if they had met yet in Weathering with You. So it kind of makes you wonder if he would ever like do a full-on movie with
everybody,
with everyone. But I don't know. I think he also did he do Voices of a Distant Star? No, that's somebody else.
Didn't he did a Fireworks one, right?
I don't think that's him. I have to look up. I'd have to look up. I don't remember.
I think they just came out around the same time. So I just
which that one is terrible. We're not reviewing that one.
Okay. Got it. Noted.
Sorry, anybody who likes it. I just thought it was. Anyway, your name. Look at them. I think this is a really funny part in the movie that they go so far to write on their, like they couldn't write like on their arms or anything. They each had to write on their faces.
The idea that that's where they're going to see it because they like feel like this is like the most strongest way to showcase their anger. So like, oh my goodness.
It's really, really
it is highly amusing. Yeah. The two of them are like, I think it's almost funny that they're not used to communicating with people regardless. And this is like the overstimulation of it almost because it's like he seems kind of like lost in like the flow and she's very just at home body, and so this whole switching helps them like relate to other people and communicate with each other as well. So it's like it's really cool.
Well, it gives them a different idea of like each other's lives. Like, I mean, he's out in the countryside, and I mean, you know, to be in like a city like Tokyo, because he's in Tokyo. You know, that's huge. Because I distinctly remember she wanted to like go everywhere.
Yeah.
And like wasn't doing his homework or something.
Yeah.
She wanted to like go get crepes or something like that.
Just causing all kinds of trouble. Oh my goodness. What else would she do in the city? It's like typically a girl on holiday. She'd run wild. So
right? Like can't blame her.
No. I think, and I didn't find any very good pictures of like the actual site blowing up and like the instances where he goes back to try to find her because all of a sudden something happens and he doesn't switch bodies with her. All the communication gets shut off. He's not sure what's happening. Exactly. And he's realizing that, his life was better with her there. And so he goes on that huge trek to figure out where the city is that no one's heard of. So,
but then on top of that, like to get there and be looking for her name, but not remember her name. Like that's what, like for me personally, like I distinctly remember because I didn't get to see it in theaters the first time. I saw it. We were on a plane. I was going home to Maryland, and I was like sitting there, and I was just like started crying at that part. Like I was like tears were streaming down my face, and my tiny human sitting next to me, and he's all like rubbing my face, like because this is 5 years ago, so like 2. She's like, "What are you doing? What's wrong?"
Yeah.
Rubbing my face because I was just like, wait, that's not the end, is it? Like, they just don't see each other. Because we all know that Japanese animation storytelling has a habit of doing that.
Dropping it.
Just, and then the end, and you're like, wait a minute. That's not the end. Like, why do they not find each other? Why are they just brokenhearted? What happened to you?
And I like how this part is supposed to be endearing, but to me it pisses me off. It's typical male fashion where they forget the important part and just write down this. I was like, dude, just like he took his sweet time doing it.
Right?
The world
ending. I love you.
Yeah. And she's like, what? I wanted your name. It is very sweet. I will give him that, but team crickets.
Yeah, no. Very enduring. Yeah. But you could at least said his name, like at the end. Like I don't know. Yeah, no, you're right.
I'll just do this. It's like Bakugo writing just really, like extra on there.
But I'm gonna be really romantic and tell you I love you. It's awesome. I don't know your name.
So ridiculous. And I just put this one in there because it's the moment we don't normally get in these kind of shows.
Yes. I love this moment, but I am heavily invested in their after story and all the after stories in all of his movies. It's like there's no, you're left guessing, which for me is not like I want to know the end. I need to know the end because that can't be like did they date? Did they end up liking each other? Like, can we get the end? The next movie he does, I beg, I plead.
They'll have an Easter egg and they'll just be holding hands with a little one.
Right? Like, seriously, like, even if it's just them, like, together and they're pushing, like, a stroller, that I will take that. I will take that as an ending. I know a lot of people get very upset in his movies because there's no... His characters, they're very romance without the romance. gotten criticized
Yeah.
for it because there's not the big kiss scene or
No.
anything like that. And I actually find that realistic and endearing because all of his characters are meeting in such short periods of time. And with a lot of manga, with a lot of anime, there's almost an element of rush. They either A, rush it and they're like sleeping together after like, the fifth
2
chapter,
episodes.
and you're like, haven't you known each other for like a month? Like
Yeah.
2 weeks? Or it's like Yona the Dawn and it's
43 volumes.
and you're still waiting on it. It's like volume 20 and you're like,
and they grew up together. It's not like they're like strangers.
Right? They've
like,
known
come
each other,
on, guys.
their
How much
whole
more do
lives.
you know?
Let's get it together. That one is so good. I love it. I love Yona the Dawn. Nobody take this the wrong way. I have all the volumes and I have read them, but still, the kiss, that took a minute. It took a really long time. So I actually love it. I like that, and because realistically what they were swapping and talking to each other for a month, maybe 2,
Yeah.
if that, so I happen to like that there was no big random forced kiss scene or anything. I just want a part 2.
Yeah.
I just want a part 2. I want to know where they end up. I want to see it. So yes, an Easter egg, them two pushing a stroller would be good, or playing in a park with a bunch of kids. You don't even see their kid. You see them playing in the park with kids, and the assumption that hopefully they have one there. I don't know.
They could just be shopping for whatever together somewhere, so it'll be fine.
Yes,
but
yes.
I almost think that this wasn't like it's a love story, but there's more going on. So like the romance was just enough, I think, almost. You like each other, so it's okay. Like it's like, and the whole point of it was to stop her from being destroyed. So it's like
right.
Yeah. So
there's a bigger picture behind the romance. There's a bigger element, which I appreciate about all of his movies. I really do. I really do appreciate that. Like with Weathering with You, I love that. The whole point was to save her.
Yeah.
I love her and I want to save her. It's very like obvious. But yeah. So I don't know. And then there's just the song. I have the song on repeat. It's in my studio jam.
While you're creating all that great stuff.
All the mini stuff.
Yeah. I'm going to take this out here so we can finish up. I thought it was going to be short because it's a movie. We don't have a whole 30 episodes to review and go over magical moments. Like this was just a genuinely from top to bottom a great animated film. And so it has once you want a second one, so that's how good it was. So it's kind of like one of those things. I don't know if I could put a cup of coffee to it because it's newer and I don't really see it as nostalgic. It's just something nice, so easy.
This is my chai latte, my warm fuzzy, my comfort.
It's definitely it's definitely a comfort one. I'm realizing a lot lately with all the new shonen stuff that I am looking for like a lot more action in an anime, which is not good. I want to go back to like the warm and fuzzies. So it's kind of nice that we're doing this and going back to some shoujo because I'm like watching way too much action with Tokyo Revengers and MHA. So I'm gonna say that too. I have my chai latte, so I'm gonna say that's what this is too.
Yeah, it's comforting for me. It's just for one, the soundtrack is just you can. I own the soundtrack. I'm sure you probably have a couple of songs too that you're just like, I'm gonna listen to this all day long. Because it's just the music flows really well. The animation is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And then the story is solid. There isn't. With stories like this, you have potential of it going awry or there being things that are left like unsettled almost. But everything makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Everything makes sense, except for, you get that short moment in the end where you're just like, wait. that last like 15 minutes of the movie, you're like, wait. But everything wraps up. There's no plot holes or anything like that. So I think it's a good, solid story and an amazing movie.
It's
Something
definitely
that
one that you can show people that are newer to anime too, and show them what would be good quality. So it's good.
yes, and you can show them like, hey, this is because I know that at one point in time he was pushing for a live action.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody wanted it. I still don't know if that's still happening, if that's still in the works, or if they actually finally like dropped it.
Yeah.
Because the whole background aspect of it was slightly inappropriate. But what was I about to say? It's definitely one of those movies that if it was live action, I feel like there's just some elements that would be missing.
I think it almost resonates differently too because they go over the top with the comedic parts. Like this part, like they kind of flowed nicely with everything else going on, but when you bring it to live action, for some reason they doesn't translate quite right with expressions and the way things are phrased. It's like it's definitely a block. And I noticed that with like even the Death Note one, like when they talk, I'm like, what are you doing? You're over the topping it instead of just trying to speak normally.
Yeah,
So
it's almost like they try to do theater instead of like movie.
yes, like they're on stage instead of just full realm of everything going on. So I think when they figured that part out of how to translate it animated into like how to act normally in these kind of situations, it might be okay. But for right now, maybe you'll get if they do a live action continuation, that would be cool. And there's nothing to base it towards.
There's never a good live action.
I know. Maybe there will be one of these days.
One of these days.
I'm gonna cross my fingers for the Cowboy Bebop one because I really, really like the main guy, the actor.
I think the Cowboy Bebop one has potential.
Mm-hmm.
I really do think it has potential. Because it's Cowboy Bebop, and that it's not like they're taking a regular it's not like they're taking like a Your Name and trying to tone it down for like live action, like because since Cowboy Bebop is already fantasy, but it's not over the top like Dragon Ball Z. We all know that movie.
That one you can't like. They're over the top in the anime. There's no way that you can't get that dialogue.
That live action is just.
I feel bad for the person that was like, "Hey, this seems like a good idea," and then they had to make it. So I was like, So
I feel bad for anybody who thought it would do well, who honestly was like, "This is gonna be amazing."
The lighting and camera guys are like, "What are you doing? This is like I'm getting paid to stand here and do this. This is great.
It's gonna be a great movie! Yay!" Please leave my name off of the cast list now.
Yeah. Can I not be on the credits? Can we just say that there was some random light guy here?
My name is George.
Yeah.
Like
how many want it to be a series though? Is it or is it gonna be a movie? Did I miss that?
I think it's a series.
Yeah, I think they'll have some time for it. I think that one aged well too. Like they did a really good job on that one for animation, and they cast well. The promo shots are very respectful, so I think it'll be good.
I think it's gonna be realistic. I think it's gonna be good. I think it's going to pair well with the story because, like, as I was before I got off on my tangent, Cowboy Bebop has a very Firefly type element to it, so you can already see that like things will go well because it's not completely out of the realm of what people do with live action now. you know,
Yeah,
it's not
no,
it's not anybody, like with like flaming hair and
or a
you
demon that
know
eats apples and
when
runs
you
around.
don't have anybody doing like 3D animation when they probably should have hired Henson kind of thing. Death Note, I'm looking at you.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, that poor show. So I'm glad it's a series because I think Death Note was a movie, and that was part of the problem too. There's a lot of content to throw into 2 hours and try to do a good job. So it's
you know,
like,
I well, I never got into Death Note. Like I think I watched like maybe the first 10 episodes like way back when. It wasn't my jam.
I never seen it because I don't know why. It was just one of those things. And then Devin watched it and loved it. And he's like, I need you to watch this. And I'm like, I've never given this a shot because I don't care. Writing in a book, killing people doesn't sound cool. But it's we watched it and I realized in English they're the same voice actors as Gundam Wing. And so Light is Katra, which is my favorite character in Gundam ever. And I was like, I have to watch this now because of this need, because this one character happens to be voiced by somebody that I respect.
You're so
But
funny.
oh my god, it lags in the middle so bad, but the ending is really well done. It's actually pretty twisty and loopy. I'll never watch it again, but it's worth a once over watch, especially if you're a Gundam Wing fan.
Especially if you like this one voice.
Yeah, well, he's in it the whole time, so it made it so much easier to watch. But they're just like, oh my god, you feel bad for all characters involved in that show because I'm like, oh, it's well written too. It's just long.
Yeah, yeah. No, I have a few. I know of a few people that are pretty obsessed with it, and they're always like,
Oh
"You have to watch Death Note," and I'm like, "Dude, I just can't do it."
no. This is going to be one of those ones that I'm not going to be popular for, but it's just like Evangelion. I couldn't make it through that one either.
Nope,
So,
me neither. Me neither.
yeah. And I know there's a lot of big fan base on it, and I'm sure it's genius, but it's just not my cup of tea. So,
Yeah.
it's one of
Nope,
those things.
couldn't watch it when it originally came
Mm-hmm.
out. Can't
Yeah.
watch it now.
On
You know, and
VHS.
like people are always like, but it's really funny for me. Have you ever watched Razepon?
A long time
Razepon?
ago.
See, I watched that first.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I watched Evangelion, or tried to, I was just like, wait, this is too similar. And I didn't really want to watch something going kind of down the same road
Yeah.
in a sense. So I just like, I'm like, that's probably why I don't want to watch it. I already watched this one previously. I forget which one came out first. I'm pretty sure Evangelion came out first, but
Yeah. I don't remember, like, we picked it up because it was like huge even back in the day, and I remember watching it even with my sister, and she's a huge like that kind of genre, like is her thing because
Connect,
she's
yeah.
like a Robotech, like Gundam, anything with mechs, like she was like on Aliens even better. So it was like one of those things, and I was just like, I can't get into this. That I was like, I don't know what's wrong with me, and it's just never resonated right, which is
Yeah.
strange since I like Dragon Ball Z. So it's just one of those things. But it's just, yeah, I don't know.
Hmm.
It
Yeah.
looks cool. The Nindos are cute.
Ninjas are cute. Looks
Mhm.
cool. There's just a lot of like backstory, and like every time I hear bits and pieces, it just seems like a very like emotional roller coaster ride that I would need to be like 13 to endure.
Yes. A lot of series are like that all of a sudden. Like I was like gonna like recommend stuff and I'm like, I can't even rewatch this. And I watched it when I was little and liked it. So how am I gonna make somebody else watch this at my age? It's almost like you have to start over. It's like let's pick something new age and like kind of move on from there. So
Yeah, I'm like, except I am. Oh, we're getting off topic.
that's okay.
Okay, cool. I was about to say, I will say that as many people in the West, I'm kind of over the isekai thing.
Mm-hmm.
There is a new, I think it's a light, I don't know if it's a light novel or a manga coming out, but I think I saw it on Yen Press, and it's reincarnated into another world as a vending machine.
Shut up.
I kid you not. I was like, what in the sweet earth is this? This is
How
not
do you
real.
write anything about that?
I have no idea what happens. The premise is what happens when the biggest vending machine fan in the world dies and is reincarnated into another world or some nonsense. And I'm like,
It's talking about like ideas at the bottom of like the pool of ideas.
they're really trying to push it. And I'm like, can we go back to like good stuff? Can we get another Slayers going? Can we get a movie like Slayers? Can we a show like Slayers? Can we get a, you know?
There's just like so much stuff out there right now. And like, no, I don't even know. Like you and I both read quite a bit. There's like a ton of content that they could pick besides vending machines. Being back on topic, doesn't Your Name have a new manga coming out now too? Doesn't they have a new series that they just launched? I'm pretty sure you can read it.
No, there's been a manga out. There's two different there's Your Name 1, 2, and 3, and then there's Your Name Another Life or something like that. I think that only has 2, and then there's the Your Name light novel.
Maybe it's the light novel I'm thinking of. That must have just like within the last like year, because that's how far behind I am. Let's just do that.
Yeah. But yeah, I have the first 2 of the Your Name manga, which flows pretty much like the. I mean,
like
it's
the movie.
Yeah, it's not that different.
Well, something else, if you're a fan of this, would be great.
I like it. It's nice to have if you want to have like a full collection. I totally love the idea of having like, even though it's like, especially when it's an original, because I like to see how they take an original animation and then do a manga, because sometimes they do change stuff, like Darling in the Franxx, Franxx. They changed the ending of that in the manga. So, which that comes out February 22.
Ooh.
Very excited for that one. But
yeah. I don't think I have anything to. I have a huge order coming next week, and I gotta see what's on there, so I don't know what's going on.
Like manga or
like manga? I think I have like 5 coming. Let's just do this. We're gonna do a special segment on Stephanie's manga pre-order list. So let's see what we got. It's the next Princess or Prince Freya, and then the My Hero Academia next volume, and then
that's the week after next, right? Or well, no, that is next week. Yeah, it's Sunday.
And then Yakuza Lover number 2 comes out next 2 weeks.
Is that 2 weeks? Next week?
It's on the 7th.
I have the My Hero one, and then the Yakuza Lover one coming, and then Given Volume 6 comes out the week after that. Right? Yeah. And I don't know. I have a bunch of stuff like ordered on Right Stuff, but it's all like back ordered. So Requiem for Rose King, I have the rest of that pre-ordered. I think that's like 11 through 14, or 14 comes out in October. So
I gotta order Vinland Saga volume 3 and 4, because second season should be out fall sometime, if not next spring. So I want to make sure I'm caught up and rewatch that. But I also have now volumes 1 through 12 of Natsume's Book of Friends to read while we watch the anime for this next episode. So I'm very excited.
You're almost halfway there. I think 27 just came out. I don't know, whatever the last volume I got. I actually haven't read that. I haven't read the last 3 volumes of it, but I have all of it.
I'm very excited about this one though, because I'm going to start it later on so I can watch it with. I might actually watch it with Clara. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to see if she can read, because I don't want to watch it in English. I want to watch it in Japanese.
There is no English.
There is no English. Well, then we're good. She has to read. Ha! Yeah. So
yeah. No, there is no English of Natsume. I feel like it came out so long ago that wasn't like a popular priority.
Oh, so the anime is done, but the manga is not.
I mean, they could still carry on with the anime. I forget where the anime ends, where the manga is.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember. But the manga is still ongoing. It's one of those ones where I think it only comes out monthly or bi-monthly in the magazines. Like, it doesn't come out that often. So it does take a while for
To
this
get to a
series
volume.
yeah.
I think Made in the Abyss is like that too, because I don't think volume 10 doesn't even come out till next year. So, and we just got 9 this year, so it's like an annual thing too.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, my pre-order for the movie got canceled by Amazon. Not happy about it.
Why would you?
They said they didn't have enough stock, so they just shut my order off.
Oh yeah, Amazon does that crap, dude.
Yeah, I'm
Don't like
not
Amazon.
happy.
I don't order the things like the movies and stuff like that from movies, figures.
No. I usually don't have a problem, but this one I did. I was like very angry. So
Sorry.
it's all right.
Can you order it on Yummy?
I'm gonna look and see. I'm pretty sure it's sold out by now because it's been you pre-ordered it like 8 months ago, so it's like one of those things. Like it's probably, but knowing them, they'll have it digital. I can just watch it that way too. So we'll see. I was just hoping to get the steelbook in hand. I was excited.
I'm sure because Amazon's dumb though too. Like they'll cancel yours and they'll have more up later.
Yeah.
Too. Or look on Right Stuff.
Yeah, I might have to do that right after this. There's all kinds of places I need to look at. Just like I'm like have my 2 places. I'm like I'm gonna look right here or here, and then I'm not gonna get it if it's not there. So
I'll help.
You should. You always do.
I was like, here, I found this. Here,
Yeah.
I found this.
All right, guys. Well, that is your name. Watch it. Read it if you want to. Watch all the rest of his movies, which looks like I might be doing after this because I need to rewatch a couple of those, and then join us for Not Somebody's Book of Friends, which will be a longer episode because there's a lot more content in that one.
Yeah, there is 5 or 6 seasons of Not Somebody's Book of Friends, and then a couple of OVAs. So we'll see. We'll see how far stuff gets.
Yeah, I'm slow.
Your face right now, you're like, this is one of my personal favorites. I love the story. I love the characters. It's just super. It's one of my comforts. Like I am already on like season 4, and this is my 3rd watch. So, you guys want to catch up? I highly suggest you do. It is available on Crunchyroll, and as we mentioned earlier, it is not available dubbed, guys. It's older. They're not going to do dub, so don't bug the studio about a dub. It's not happening.
All right. Well,
yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Good morning.
See ya.